Are you tired of renting but have no idea what to do when it comes to buying a house? We'll talk about that on today's episode. So we're here today with Rob Elder from Wallach & Volk Home Loans Mortgage Company. I got that wrong probably. You'll have to correct me on the official name, but Wallach & Volk is the oldest privately held mortgage bank in the country?
Correct. Family owned.
Yes. Awesome. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and why we should listen to you talk about this topic with us today.
Well, my name is Rob with Wallach & Volk Mortgage and the Elder team. We are the largest family owned and operated mortgage company in the country since 1932. So we've been around, know the ins and outs of helping clients and customer service and first-time home buyers. So proud to be here.
Perfect. So a lot of people watching might be renting a home currently, and they might think to themselves, I hear it's better to own a home than to rent, but my credit's not that great, or I don't really know what the process is. So if you're a renter and you're thinking about that, how early should you even start thinking about talking to someone like you or moving toward the process of purchasing?
Really, there's no time that's too soon, if you know what I mean. The sooner the better to talk with a financial advisor like myself in order to see what your current financial footprint looks like. If there's anything we need to do to help put you in a better position to get a better credit score, to qualify for certain programs. It gives us time to do that. So if you've just signed a lease, now's the time to get involved. Don't wait until the end of the lease to start the process.
So if somebody's credit isn't the greatest in the world, is buying a home out of the picture for them?
Absolutely not. There are programs that I help facilitate. Again, for credit repair, if that's what needs to happen. There's credit rescore programs that we can access through Cisco that you do not have to go through credit repair to do. In addition to that, there are some down payment assistance programs that do allow you to get some assistance and go into it as a first-time home buyer at a little lower credit score than normal.
Okay. So you mentioned down payment. How much of a down payment should a first-time home buyer be thinking about when it comes to saving? And if they can't come up with that kind of funds, is there any other option available?
I would tell people, as a general rule, there's conventional and FHA financing options. Typically, one is 5% down, the other one's 3.5% down, which is FHA. A little more forgiving terms. However, there are down payment assistance programs that both conventional and FHA would depend on where you live or where you want to buy, whether it be in Maricopa County or Pinal County, would determine which program we use. Where you could get 4,000 to 5,000 or 4 to 5% down in assistance, depending on what your job is. So there are quite a few variables, and there are a lot of different avenues we can take advantage of, and that's why it's important to start early.
Mm-hmm. So when you say down payment assistance, is that somebody just giving them a loan to give them a heads up, or how does that work?
Primarily, there's three programs that we have access to. There's called DPA, Down Payment Assistance Advantage. There's Home Plus, which covers all of Arizona, and there's Home in 5, which is just Maricopa County. Again, we can use different companies to determine what program we want to use.
And is that going to be like something that gets added to their payment, or is that free money, or like what is down payment assistance, I guess?
Understood. So in a sense, I don't like calling it free money because it is a grant. So basically what that means is that you have a silent second on your mortgage. There's no payment, there's no interest. It basically sits there for 3 years primarily. There's some that are longer, but primarily it's 3 years, and it's a forgivable grant. So as long as you stay in the home for those 3 years, then that second lien goes away. If you were to refinance for some reason, then that money is prorated. So if you stay there 2 years out of the 3, then a third of that it'll just be part of your payoff.
That's awesome. That's probably something people don't know much about. That they think, one, my credit isn't very good, and you've addressed that. 2, I don't have money to buy a house, and now there's an option potentially for that. So that's two major barriers that are taken out of the way that most people wouldn't even know about. So when I'm coming to you to meet with you, and you're going to sit down and kind of give me a consultation of what we're looking at doing, what do I need to bring with me? What kind of documentation are you going to need? Is there too much documentation I can bring, or what do you prefer?
For the most part, if your documentation can vary a little bit, whether you're a W-2 employee or self-employed, but for the most part, driver's license, 2 months bank statements, 30 days pay stubs, the last 2 years of W-2s is primarily what you need to bring so that we can get an accurate picture of what your eligible income is. Some people have overtime that and or variable income that they haven't been receiving for more than 2 years. Then sometimes we can't use that income. That's why we need to come in early, look at the W-2s, look at your pay stubs, how long you've been on the job, to determine what pay we can use to qualify you for purchasing the home.
So you mentioned work, how long you've been on the job. Is there a minimum work history that's going to be required?
You have to have at least 2 years work history, unless you say you've just graduated from college, because that is considered work history. So say you graduated college and you just started a new job, you've been there 2 months. We can use the college time to qualify you to take that 2-year work history.
Okay, so as long as you're in a similar industry of what you've studied in college, you can kind of count that as a part of their work history, so to speak.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. So the other thing is, so when someone's renting and moving into a home, they're thinking, one, credit score is not good, don't have enough down payment, but 3, how am I going to pay my rent and then pay the mortgage at the same time? So can you talk about like the timing of the mortgage payment and how that might affect someone who's moving out of a rental?
Sure. That's why it all goes back to what we talked about a minute ago, as far as when is it too soon or too late to start the process. The earlier the better, so that we can see how long it's going to take for you to qualify, and then we can strategically plan whether you talk to the landlord to see if you go month to month, or to see if we have to wait until if somebody releases the property. But for the most part, you're never going to have to make both payments, because the first payment on your new mortgage usually doesn't start within 45 days. So, if we close now, you can count on almost getting to 2 months without having the first payment. So, giving you more than enough time to finish your lease on your rent, move out, and then typically, say a month later, you have a new payment starting.
That's awesome. Yeah, timing, I don't think somebody that hasn't ever owned a home may know that your mortgage payment is delayed at the beginning, so you do have a little bit of a window. So that's great. So if someone wanted to meet up with you, what's the best way to connect with you and get your professional opinion on this sort of thing?
Sure. Well, you can reach me. I'm all on social media, Rob Elder Loans, on Facebook. My office number is 480-657-1968. My personal cell phone is, call the 307 Wyoming guy, 307-631-1200. And if nothing else, if they see something with your information or contact you, you can redirect them to me as well.
Fantastic. We'll put something right here on the screen somewhere, I'm sure, and maybe link it in the description below as well on how to get a hold of you. So thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and really look forward to working with you more in the future. Just as a quick testimonial for Rob and I have done several deals together. Never a problem with communication, never a problem with closing on time or early. Definitely has the heart of an educator and a teacher, and wants to make sure his clients understand what's coming and what to expect, and not be surprised at some point in the process. So I want to thank you for that. Makes everybody happier when they can have a nice, smooth transaction with as little hiccups as we can possibly do. So appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate yours.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a fantastic discussion with Rob today at Wallach & Volk. We learned about the fact that your credit score, your down payment, or the timing of your mortgage payment might not be an issue for you to get into a home. If you like content like we're putting out today, go ahead and share this with somebody you know. And if we could be of any service as a first-time home buyer, be sure to contact our team or contact Rob directly, and we'd love to help you. See you again on the next episode.